All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the New York Jets in today's video. They're just finding a bunch of players that their ceiling is through the roof. Case in point would be Justin Fields, but I love the moves of Cisco, even my former Packers center Josh Myers, new cornerback and Brandon Stevens, Derek Nottie. I like what the Jets are doing, and I think Justin Fields is the answer for the foreseeable future here. And, we're going to talk about it. I'm a Chicago guy, born and raised, so I saw every single football game Justin Fields played for that team. I also, right behind me, you can't see it, I've got a Justin Fields Steelers jersey. So I've watched Justin play pretty much throughout his whole NFL career, and I think schematically, first off, this dude always tore apart Aaron Glenn, the new head coach for the Jets. But I think schematically, he gives the Jets a quarterback that honestly in their franchise, they might have never had. And that was kind of the intrigue and the draw to Justin Fields when he was selected with the 11th overall pick in 2021. But real quick, before we get into Justin Fields, like I said, the Jets right now are investing a lot into Aaron Glenn, and they're investing into him and his staff and their ability to coach, lead, and develop young talent, untapped potential, guys with talent, guys with room to grow. And Justin Fields will start it off with him because he's on a 2-year deal worth $40 million, including $30 million guaranteed. Like I said a minute ago, this is the former 11th overall pick in the 2021 NFL draft. So I know I'm from Chicago, but I am a Green Bay Packers fan. There's a lot of context missing in that. I was kind of scared when Justin Fields was drafted to the Bears. And unfortunately, he got drafted to the Chicago Bears. And they just did not know how to develop a young quarterback. They didn't really know what they were doing offensively. They haven't for way too long. They're kind of figuring it out now with Ben Johnson. But Fields got traded to Pittsburgh after a couple of seasons. And he did a really good job. And it's funny because now, like, Pittsburgh still doesn't have a QB, and it's just funny that we're looking back at it now in the last couple of years of the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's like, do they know what they're doing at the quarterback position? So Justin Fields was never really, he was penciled in as the starter because Russell Wilson was injured. So he took over for him at the start of the season because Russ wasn't ready, and he led the Pittsburgh Steelers to a 4-2 record. He set career highs with a 65.8% completion rate, a 93.3 quarterback rating. He threw for a little over 1,100 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, also had about 300 rushing yards and 5 rushing touchdowns. And so that's just kind of the point. Yes, he does hold a 14-30 record as a starting quarterback, but he does have 8,000 passing yards, 45 touchdowns, about 30 interceptions, and he also has up almost 20 career rushing TDs, along with over 2,500 rushing yards. So expect an offense next season with Tanner Engstrand, your new offensive coordinator, built around Justin Fields. That's what they're going to do. They're going to build him. They're going to build the playbook around him. RPOs, play action, just creativity. Let him get on his feet. A couple of scheduled runs. I think Justin Fields really just needed an opportunity. And I know he got that opportunity in Chicago, but they just, outside of trading for DJ Moore, they never really did anything offensive line, running back room, wide receiver room to help supplement DJ Moore and Justin Fields. So he's got a super high ceiling. He's only 26 years old. He's on a similar timeline to a lot of the younger Jets stars. And he also, more importantly, reunites with wide receiver Garrett Wilson, who played with Justin at Ohio State back in 2020. 50 catches for 729 yards and 7 touchdowns. So Garrett Wilson's going to be happy. Justin's happy, and hopefully Jets fans are happy with Justin. Now, he does fumble a little bit. Sometimes he holds onto the football a little bit too long. But one underrated part about Justin that people don't really know is he's got a cannon. The dude is a really good and accurate down the field passer. So you're going to see some big time plays. And by the way, while we're on the topic of big time plays, I would love, and I think everyone expects the Jets to continue to give him weapons outside of Garrett Wilson. I don't even know if Allen Lazard's going to be back. Doesn't really look great, whether it's the draft or free agency in the next month or so. 100,000% the Jets are going to go out there and get weapons for Justin Fields specifically. And then we move forward to Cisco. I really like it. It's a 1-year contract worth about $10 million. He's only 25 years old. This is a former 3rd-round pick in 2021 from Syracuse. He's played and started for the Jacksonville Jaguars in the last 3 years. He had a really good 2022 and a super good 2023. Seven interceptions. One of those was a touchdown, 15 pass deflections in those 2 years. But then in Jacksonville last year, honestly, nobody really came out unscathed from their just nightmare of a season. He only had one interception. The Jaguars defense struggled in every aspect. And like I said, there's not really a player that came out unscathed from that Jaguars season. Primarily a free safety, but he's got a lot of range and versatility that it just kind of seems like Aaron Glenn's going to love Andre Cisco. Then staying with the defensive back room, we moved to Brandon Stephens on a 3-year, $36 million contract. And I know a lot of people were kind of questioning this move because he's coming off a bit of a down season. He allowed 65 catches and a passer rating of 107.4 when targeted in 2024. But he is only 27 years old, and the Jets, leading with Aaron Glenn, have one of the best defensive back coach rooms in the National Football League. So they're kind of banking on him. It feels like from what he did in 2023, that season, he had 2 interceptions and 11 pass deflections. And it's also important to keep in mind, he got picked on a lot in Baltimore last season specifically because keep in mind, they have Marlon Humphrey and Kyle Hamilton. So teams don't really want to throw too much to those guys. But Brandon Stephens, once again, kind of feel like they're banking on what he showed you in 2023, just like Andre Cisco. So that defensive back room, that secondary is looking very good, at least in my opinion. They could probably use another safety, and they'll probably do that at some point in the NFL draft. And just a couple of offensive line moves, Josh Myers and Okafor from the New England Patriots. I like Josh Myers a lot. These are just 2 really good depth pieces to have. Speaking of the offensive line, the Jets with the 7th overall pick, there's that right tackle out of Missouri. I've seen a mock draft. I just saw a mock draft right before I made this video where you guys had Abdul Carter, edge rusher out of Penn State, right there for you at pick number 7. That would be game-changing. I don't really think that's going to happen, in my opinion, at pick number 7. The Jets are either going to go offensive lineman. I guess they could go D-line, but I think they're either going to go offensive lineman or wide receiver, just depending on who falls and who's still available. So at the end of the day, man, I know the Jets, the last 2 seasons with my GOAT, Aaron Rodgers, I got his Jets jersey hanging right behind me. It just didn't work out. And so now, even though, kind of Rodgers, that whole situation, it kind of clouded a dark cloud over the Jets franchise, Justin Fields offers just a fresh breath of air and creativity, versatility, big-time playmaking. I can't wait to watch Justin Fields in a Jets jersey. That's it for me. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. If you guys want more Jets videos, let me know down below. But most importantly, give me a grade rating on the Jets free agency down below. Peace.